Hi everybody, welcome back to Shell Star Stitches. I thought I would show you my progress because I have started doing my crochet along. I think I did mention it in a previous video that I had signed up to this. I will pop a picture in here for you so you can see what it will look like at the end. So that's what hopefully I'm aiming to achieve. The crochet along is over 5 weeks, so we are already on week 2. I signed up a little bit late because they had a 40% off sale, so I managed to get my kit with 40% off. So I did receive part 1 of my pattern, but my yarn had not arrived yet, and that arrived this week. So this is the Deramores Night Before Christmas crochet along. It's something called, and I've only just learned this through joining up to their sort of project group on Facebook. It's called Intarsia crochet. It's basically you're making, as you saw from the picture that I popped in, you're making a picture out of crochet. So we're making a Christmas scene out of the crochet blanket that we're doing. So that's what it's called. So I had a big Mahusive, as you can see. Delivery arrived this week. That is also yarn for another project, which I'm not going to share at the moment, but there's a lot of my yarn in there for my crochet along. So week 1 was really scintillating, and you'll see why. So we did rows 1 to 36 on week 1, and we're now doing rows 37 to 72. I think week 2 is going to take me a bit longer. I managed, my yarn arrived on Tuesday night, and I managed by Thursday evening to have done all of week 1. But yeah, I think this is where I'll start to get behind everyone. I don't think it's going to take me 5 weeks. I think it's going to take me a bit longer. Might get into the swing of it a bit more, and sort of speed up a bit, but at the moment. So I will show you where I am. This is where I've got to, and as you can see, this bottom half was week 1, all white. So it's basically half treble. I can't even fit that all in. There you go. Pop my head over the top. Half treble stitches. So I think it's 130. Yeah, I think 135, 136 across, all half trebles. So we did 36 rows of the white, and we've now started to add in the colour. So we've got the green of the trees, and then the white being the snow on the trees. And then we've got the black here being some of the sky, as well as being, this is like a house that is going to be in the middle. So it's a lot of keep changing colour. And the way they do it is they catch the yarn in on the back. So you keep all your ends on one side, obviously, because with it being a blanket, you don't want ends on both sides. So I'll show you the back, you can see. They try and sort of crochet over them to tie them in, but a couple of times I haven't done that. So that part I'm finding a little bit difficult, especially when you've got like light and dark yarn, because it's like green and white. I don't want it to show through so much on the front. So this is where I've got to with my crochet along at the moment. So I think I'm up to like row 52 or 53. So I've got about another 20 rows to do for this week. Adding in my colours, but this is progress of week 1 and part of week 2. So I will keep showing you as we go along how far we've got. There were a few issues, I have to say, with the pattern. So firstly, the pattern came out and we were all struggling with the tension. I didn't bother with the tension square. I'm a bit lazy. I didn't want to waste my time. I was already behind, so I didn't want to waste my time doing a tension square. Some say it's not a waste of time, and I do appreciate that, but I didn't want to spend time doing that when I wanted to crack on. So mine is 80 centimetres wide at the moment, but the pattern told us it should be 60 centimetres wide, and it's double knit yarn with a 4mm hook. Nobody was achieving that. People undid what they started, redid with a smaller hook because they were really worried that they were gonna run out of yarn based on the kit, but the Deramores have now sent around a revised page or pattern, week 1 pattern, and they've updated it now going forward. that the actual finished width should be 85 centimetres, and that includes a border as well. So there was a bit of a mess up there with their dimensions and their sizes, which I think frustrated quite a few people who had started and restarted trying to achieve what was on the original pattern. And also I had a bit of an issue this week because I'll show you my pattern, because I've printed out my pattern so that I can follow it, because they chunk it into 4 separate pieces, and I can't follow that because you're going right to left and then left to right, so you keep going back on yourself. I want to be able to pay attention. So my pattern, I went to print it out and stick it together, basically cut and stick it together, and all the graphs were different sizes. So that frustrated me a little bit, because I was like, though, if you're going to print them and people want to be able to print them, you would anticipate that all the graph pieces match up. So that did frustrate me a little bit. So I went on my laptop and did manage to fiddle around, and so my is this wide. So this is what we're trying to achieve. So as you can see, it's like, I think it's like 3 A3 sheets. I've now got it wide, but for me at least I can follow it now, and it all matches up. So I've just sellotaped it together. I didn't bother with the white because obviously it's straightforward, it's just backwards and forwards, but now we're getting into colour changing. I definitely think it's helpful, so I don't know if they're going to change that. It has been fed back to them that if you want to print it, you want to be able to match all the graphs up. I have already gone a little bit wrong in a couple of places, but it's mainly on the trees with the snow. I've not swapped over the right way round or soon enough, so, but I'm not going to unpick it and worry too much because it's snow on trees. It's not deadly important. I mean, if the house would start to go a bit wonky, then I probably would, but yeah, so I've already, I think, done a few extra in places that I shouldn't have and not enough snow, but there you go. So this is where we're at. So I will do some more progress videos when I've done some more. I'm going to do more of it today, especially when you're working with the black yarn. Trying to do it in the evenings is quite difficult. So yeah, so I've got about another 20 rows to do before Friday, because the pattern comes out about 11 o'clock on Friday. So we shall see how we get on and whether I throw it across the room. It's something quite new to me, so I remember when I did my mosaic crochet blanket and that was brand new. Yeah, I almost threw it across the room and got really upset with it at one point. But yeah, so I'll pop a link into the crochet along from Deramores, but yeah, just do be warned, there's been a couple of little niggles. So I mean, they've rectified them now, it's fine, but I think luckily I was starting behind everyone, and then we realised there were issues. So it does happen, unfortunately, sometimes when you can pattern test something to death, but until a lot of people start to use it or you realise, it's easily done. So yeah, so I will link everything below, and update you hopefully next week with where we're at, because we've got to get this finished for Christmas, because I have lots of other things I need to do for Christmas. But thanks for watching, and I will catch you again later.